Hey everyone, a lot of you would know that I'm now using a Canon 1DX alongside all of my Nikon gear. Despite that, my favorite lens remains the Nikon 50mm 1.2. I didn't want to buy a Canon 50mm 1.2 on top of this one, so today I want to talk you through how I can use this Nikon lens on this Canon body. What is this unholy monster? This Frankenstein? Take a deep breath, fanboys from either side of the camp. This may get you a little bit riled. It's a really simple thing, actually. I mean, there's cinema cameras out there that will allow you to use completely different lens sets and retain all of the autofocus and stuff. This doesn't. Essentially, why you can put Nikon lenses on a Canon body, but you can't put Canon lenses on a Nikon body, is that cameras are designed with a specific distance from the rear of your lens to the sensor, to the plane. So there's a measurable distance that will match on all Canon bodies to lenses and all Nikon bodies to lenses, and they're discrete. And it just so happens that Nikon has a bigger distance than Canon. So there's room to put a little adapter to change the mount foot from Nikon. It just turns on and then becomes a Canon one. And if it's really accurately made, then it will give you perfect distance that the Nikon lens needs to be hitting the Canon sensor at an optimal length. So the one that I'm using is the Velo lens adapter. It's Nikon F mount to Canon EOS body. It's really a simple piece of kit. It's just, as I said, it's an adapter. You just pop it onto the bottom of your Nikon lens. It turns on, and hey presto, now your Nikon lens has a Canon mount. So we can take off this bad boy lens and pop on my Nikon onto my Canon body. Brilliant, huh? A couple of things to keep in mind. This won't really work for the newer lenses like G-series Nikon lenses that don't have an aperture ring. Those ones automatically close down to the wider setting when they're not on the camera and open up to the wider setting once they are. So, you know, if you want to be able to adjust your aperture properly, you need one that actually has the aperture ring. One cool thing though with this system is that nearly all, or if not all, of the Canon bodies on the market now, not just the 1DX, even down to the lower end ones, will meter properly with a lens like this, even if it's not getting electronic data from it. So you don't even need to set up the lens and tell the camera that, you know, it's a 1.2 maximum aperture. It will just read the amount of light that it's getting, and it will adjust the other settings as necessary, or give you a light meter reading so you can adjust your shutter speed and your ISO to suit. Of course, it's going to be full manual focus. This is a manual focus lens anyway, but even if you're using an autofocus lens, there's no talking between them. I like everything about this. It's so simple, you know, as long as it's precisely made, it can't really go wrong. It seems strong, it comes on and off easily. It's got a nice little clip to hold it in place that you need to hold down to take it off. Of course, you need that because normally the locking mechanism is on the camera body. The only thing you want to watch out for is having that extra piece of metal in the back there that would normally be sitting flush against the camera. You need to, you know, be careful when changing the aperture. Well, not careful, just if you've got fat fingers like me, now you've got the two silver rings kind of poking out just a little bit, and the aperture ring is inside that. So you do actually need to, you know, squeeze your fingers into that gap. But, you know, it was no setup. I just put my camera onto aperture priority, put the lens on, and it was ready to shoot. Let me shoot back at you here. So it may be unholy, it may be not brand pure, but I don't give a crap. If it gets the job done, saves me $1,000 or something from buying the Canon one, and the fact that I just love this lens, it's a beautiful piece of equipment, and this small, inexpensive adapter can make it work on both of my cameras, fantastic. What's not to love? If you are using one of these, or if you're using different lenses on different bodies, let everyone know in the caption below what you're using on what body and what adapter you're using. It's a handy thing to be able to do. Fire away with any questions or comments. Please do subscribe and check out all of the social media things, and I'll see you soon. Whilst you're here, why not check out the video where I explain why I bought into the Canon system. Here I unbox the Canon 1DX, and here's 50mm shootout comparing the Nikon lenses, and one comparing the Canon 50mm offerings. Thanks guys.